It's Friday, February 27, 2015, and let's talk about what happened this week over at xdadevelopers.com. First up, Mobile World Congress is coming up in a few days, and as you might expect, companies have started announcing their products early. Motorola announced the next generation of Moto E with slightly upgraded specs and LTE. In much the same fashion, Sony unveiled the Xperia E4G, an upgraded version of their E4 with LTE as well. They've confirmed they're also going to be releasing an updated Xperia Z4 tablet with a 2K screen, an ultra-fast processor, and industry-leading battery performance, whatever those things mean. Definitely looking forward to learning more about that one now. Moving on to some software updates, this week the 2014 Moto X on AT&T finally received its update to Lollipop, version 5.0.2, so be on the lookout for that. To go along with that though, Motorola has gotten around to releasing the kernel source for the Moto X on Android 5.02, so if you've been dying to do some custom kernel work on the Moto X, you might want to check out their GitHub. Verizon rolled out Lollipop to the LG G3 as well, bringing version 5.0.1. That's been captured and made available through the forums, so if you just can't wait for the OTA, check out the link in the description. HTC UK announced through Twitter this week that the HTC One M7 has started receiving its Lollipop update as well. Not sure what the timeline for US devices is going to be, but hopefully it won't be too long. Now for some non-official updates. This week, XDA senior member T-Shock ported the Note 4 Lollipop firmware to the Galaxy S4 LTE-A. Paranoid Android 5.0 Alpha 1 was ported over to the Galaxy S3 by XDA senior member Gokul Balram. XDA recognized contributor Abhinav2 has started putting out unofficial CM12 nightlies for the Xperia T2 Ultra Dual. And for all of these that I just mentioned, do make sure to go read through the forum thread before flashing anything. They may not be 100% stable, there have been some bugs reported. I know one of them had a kernel issue. You just definitely read through the forum threads before doing anything. Now moving right along, this week Google announced a new Android for Work program, which should help make Android more enterprise friendly. It brings along with it things like work profiles so that you can keep your personal apps and your info there siloed from your work stuff. They're also doing a Google Play for Work, allowing businesses to deploy apps and make sure everything's up to date. And they're also doing productivity tools. It looks like a really interesting offering. Hopefully that'll help Android be a little easier for large-scale enterprises to adopt. I've had that problem in the past. There were also a couple of hot button technology issues this week that popped up on the portal as well. The FCC voted this week in favor of reclassifying broadband providers under Title II, effectively treating them like they're utility companies, doing away with the idea of paying for internet fast lanes. There is still a little bit of uncertainty surrounding the ruling, and of course the broadband providers are all up in arms over it. I am curious to see how this is going to change things as a result, but for the moment, everything looks happy and good, aside from the providers. The other big story that popped up was about the Pebble Time. If you're not familiar with it, the Pebble Time is the next generation of Pebble smartwatch, Pebble being the e-ink display smartwatch. They just announced on Kickstarter a couple of days ago, and at the time of filming this, they've received over $10 million pledged already, making them the second most funded Kickstarter project ever. So that prompted the discussion post asking whether you prefer Android Wear or the new Pebble Time. It also prompted an article calling the Pebble Time the most practical smartwatch yet. I'm not sure if that's an entirely valid statement since the Pebble Time isn't out yet, so no one really has 100% info on it. I did, however, manage to get in early on the Kickstarter, so I'm looking forward to getting the chance to see it for myself in a couple of months. Maybe I can do a video comparing the two. Also this week, EGZ Thunder did an article talking about the new cell phone unlocking bill that we've mentioned previously, and how it's not exactly all that it's cracked up to be. And finally, one new forum was added for the Galaxy Grand Prime. And as usual, 3 other videos were posted to XDA TV this week. TK did an Expose Tuesday talking about Gravity Box and app settings. Then Shane reviewed the If This Then That app. And then TK reviewed High Locker. But you know what? That's going to be about all for me for today because I'm still suffering from a sinus infection if you couldn't tell. I'm a little Barry White today. You can find the links to all the stories I talked about down in the video description, as well as the links to my YouTube channels. Remember, if you like this video, please leave us a like down below the video and subscribe to receive all of our content as soon as it becomes available. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.